Hey, it's Michelle.
And it's your girl, Laura Nicole, and this is Couch Talk.
Just two girls, one couch, a few special guests, and way too many thoughts. From late night chats to did that really just happen moments, we're unpacking it all.
Relationships, parenting, adulting, life, love, and everything in between. No filters, no judgment, just laughs, real talk, and maybe a few questionable takes. So grab a drink, get comfy, and take a seat. This is Couch Talk. Hey, it's your girl, Laura Nicole.
And it's Michelle.
We have a really great show for you today. We have our friend and resident pelvic floor therapist, Danielle Rivera, with us today. So this is going to be really excited. Thank you for joining us on the couch.
So just a little bit about Danielle. Danielle is a pelvic floor expert. She's the founder of the Right Balance. She's got over 25 years experience in physical therapy. She earned her master's in physical therapy at the University of Miami and then her doctorate of physical therapy. She created the Right Balance physical therapy, and she loves talking all things pelvic health. So before we get started, I just wanted to thank you for coming and being a part of our first taped episode. So thank you for coming and joining us today.
Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah,
I'm so excited to be here.
We're excited. We've been talking about you for a while because we know that there's a lot that we're going to learn today. And I have to tell you, every time we laugh, we say we need to call Danielle. So I'm very excited for what's to come today and for everybody to know what we're excited about.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit. Can you share with us what inspired you to get into your line of business?
Sure. So I have been like you said earlier, I have been a physical therapist for over 25 years, which in that world, I'm pretty old. And for years, I treated spines and pelvises, but there was always just that missing link. Like, what else is going on here? I mean, people talk to me about peeing and pooping all the time.
Nice.
And I wasn't even treating down there. But then I was like, the more I learned about what pelvic floor was, and it's a field that once you get started learning more, there's so much more to learn.
Wow.
So I loved
Everything is connected.
Exactly.
Everything is connected, which is why I think it's like really important that we kind of bring like awareness and things like this to light, right? Because it's something that like most people don't talk about. We kind of deal with in silence. We don't say anything, especially after childbirth or with age. These are just things that we generally don't say out loud, which is why I love having our friends on the couch, because it gives us a chance to talk, about these things that are somewhat taboo, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So, I have a question for you. Why are these issues common but not normal?
That's a good question. And that's what we talk about all the time. They're common, but it doesn't mean it's normal. We've been told for years that, oh, yeah, you had a baby. It's okay that you pee in your pants. And it's not. It's really not. And we need to really address those things. And that's what pelvic floor physical therapy does. For years, people have said that it's okay. And I just don't want you to be okay with okay.
Quality of life, right?
Quality of life, right.
Yeah.
So if you don't pee, or if you don't jump anymore because you're afraid you're going to pee in your pants, well, that's not okay. We need to jump if we want to jump. Actually, jumping is great for our muscles and our bones, and we're learning it more and more. So why are we avoiding that? We don't need to, but we do need to address the problem, and that's what I do.
And it has like kind of an embarrassing stigma almost,
Very.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Peeing in your pants?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it does.
As an adult?
I think it does, but it's nothing to be, and that's the thing too, it's nothing to be embarrassed about, because
Right.
Unfortunately, a lot of people do it, and it is common, but it doesn't mean that it's normal. It doesn't mean that it's something that you should just have to deal with. And
Right.
It's not embarrassing.
Right. So I wonder, many people think that like pelvic pain, is kind of like a part of life. And I think that, again, it's something that gets normalized, right? So how does pelvic floor therapy enhance and fixes that kind of that pain problem?
Pelvic pain is a big one too, and pain with sex is something that I treat all the time. And it's not okay that it hurts, and when we go through different stages in life, like perimenopause, listen, it's true. Hormones change us down there. But that's not the only thing that
What age is perimenopause?
What age is?
Yeah, typically.
Oh my
around
gosh.
That could be anywhere from like 30 or something.
Yeah, they say like there's a whole series of like 15 years that they're saying, or 10 to 15 years that maybe you're starting to get symptoms or signs of perimenopause.
Wow.
But a lot of women, they have pain with intercourse at that time. And maybe it is, are we allowed to say dryness?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there is dryness down there, but that's probably not the only reason why it's uncomfortable. We address the muscles. So chances are you might be tight down there. And I know your partner might like that. But if you're tight and your muscles are tight down there, then that can give you pain there. So we, as pelvic floor physical therapists, I address those muscles and I teach you how to lengthen them or release them or make sure that they're not tight so that sex is good for both of you.
So I have to ask. So Kegels, I learned you go to a stoplight. I don't know if you ever heard this. You
Yes.
go to a stoplight. And at a stoplight, I think it was like 5 seconds and you tighten and then you release. Is that what a Kegel is, or am I completely wrong?
You're not completely wrong.
But I'm not completely right.
You're not completely wrong. No, and stoplights are a very popular way to Kegel. The thing is, the research shows that most people just don't know how and what they're doing down there.
Yeah.
So as a physical therapist who's trained in that, I actually can train you to make sure that you are doing it the correct way.
Okay.
One of the biggest mistakes I see is we work on contracting those muscles, but we don't work on releasing those muscles. So we want to make sure that when we contract, even at a red light, we're contracting, but then we're making sure that we actually relax the muscle.
So how do people not relax? They just are so tensed and they just stay tensed? Like a stick up there?
Yeah, like just generally people, and listen, some people do need to just practice the strengthening and do the tensing that muscle, but the learning how to release that muscle is sometimes just, it's harder than learning to contract the muscle.
I feel like I carry all of my stress in my pelvis, right? We've talked about this before when we've sat, and I feel like I'm constantly tense, and I feel like probably a lot of women are, right? Because like life is tough, so like when you're tense or you're, I think it's like goes through your whole body, right? Like if
But
you're
how do you
tense,
know if you're holding it in your pelvic?
oh, I feel it.
Okay.
I can absolutely. You can absolutely.
I was like,
People
my
don't.
stress is in my head.
No, but I mean, like I'm talking about like the tenseness, like the
Understood.
tightness in your body. When you're tense, like even if you're going through something, it's like in your mind. If you're tense, your whole body is tense. Am I right? So like I think it kind of affects all of that. No.
Yeah, so sometimes people are tense, and sometimes we hold tension in our neck, our head. Some of us hold it in our pelvis. So there's actually, we could be tense, but there's also like muscle tension or tightness there.
Right.
So here's an example that's something, I have so many things I could say. But one thing is like when we clench or tighten our jaw, if we're a person who clenches our jaw, chances are we're clenching down there.
Stop it.
There
so
it
I have
is.
TMJ.
There it is.
But yet I have bladder issues.
So yes.
Because we're clinching, we're not doing it the right way.
So what is it? Hold it in and clench for 5 seconds and then release?
So like, so the tightening and the holding it in, yes, is part of the Kegel.
Okay.
But we're saying, what we're talking about is you might have,
The release.
as a clencher or as a TMJ person who tends to have like tightness and clenches there, you might be clenching down there and you don't even know it.
Interesting.
So if
See?
those muscles are tense all the time and you're not releasing those muscles, then you could also have, not saying that you have it, but if you could have leaking or pain down there because you're just always tense.
Yeah.
But we don't
Interesting.
know exactly until you have an evaluation
Yeah.
from a pelvic floor therapist.
Wow. Yeah.
Which is what I really hope
Definitely
that
gonna have to.
I hope
And
that
you've
more
been to
women
one
do.
before.
I have.
Yeah.
I have. And that's why when I had first met Michelle at the South Florida Women's Networking meeting, and I was like, like I've done this before. It happens to be with somebody she knows. And that's why I'm kind of like, I get what she's saying because I've seen one. I'm so bad. I need to go back. I'm just going to see, Danielle at this point. I feel like she can totally, I think more women should. Yeah. If this is something that's affecting your daily life, then it's something we can take control of.
And is it just women?
It's women and men. I see more women, but I do see men actually. Men do have, the way our anatomy is, I think it's more common with women, and we do talk a lot more, right? You think about how hard it is to talk as a woman about these things, and where sometimes it's like, oh, well, you're pregnant, you're going through perimenopause. Of course you're having problems, but even more difficult for men to talk about it. So yes, they do have some concerns down there that we address. Pain is a big one of them.
I was going to say, is it the same kind of issue then? Similar, like the urination or the, like that feeling of, having to, pee constantly or peeing when you're jumping or running or do they leak? Yeah, there it is. I wasn't going with it, but there it is. Where's the bell for that one?
Do they leak?
There
I'd like
it is.
to know they're going through some of the same things we have to go through.
I think sometimes they do leak. I don't treat tons of leaking in men, and that's just because it depends on who's coming to you, right?
Right.
But I do treat pelvic pain for men, so that can be anywhere down there. And sometimes I don't remember how much I can say online or on the air, but so sometimes they have pain into the testicles, into the groin, into the penis, and that can actually be because there's muscle tension at their pelvic floor. So
Understood. And do you treat younger, teenagers, or is this mainly older?
What's your age demographic?
Because listen, I'm going to be curious. Pretty candid right now. I've had bladder issues since I was younger. I have always had a bladder issue.
Yeah.
So I hate to say it, but I have always peed my pants.
That's okay.
I'll always be
You're
known
not
as that.
cool unless
First
you pee your
episode.
pants.
Well, not cool unless you pee your
not
pants.
always, because you're going to see me.
Billy Madison reference.
Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. But actually, even some women, I think bedwetting, even bedwetters who wet their bed for a long period of time, longer than normal, they might tend to have more pelvic floor stuff. So
I'm curious. So if this is where we're going with it, so
we're just going.
I'm loving this. So if we're talking peeing, we talked about this already. Hit me with it. How long are you supposed to be peeing for? What's normal? What's average?
Wait, what?
Remember when she said it was how many
was
seconds
there a script for this? Did we have a script?
No, we're going off script for this one.
I have to keep track of how long I pee now?
Yeah, well, remember she said something about seconds, how long it should be. So I was curious about what the average, what's normal. If you drink a lot, you should be urinating more frequently, right? But then there are those people that will pee and then go back a few minutes later, they're not emptying that. Is that pelvic floor related?
It can be pelvic floor related, yes. So, I think textbook they used to say 8 to 10 seconds should be at least the length of your pee, right? Wow. So if you can kind of use that as a guideline. So if you went to the bathroom, 20 minutes ago, and you peed for 10 seconds, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I have to pee again. And then you go back, and it's 5 seconds. That could just be a sign. I think a lot of it is a sign of that maybe I didn't have to pee. And then there's opening that whole ball of can of wax. I'm never good at those things.
Right.
Can of worms. Are you feeling like you have to pee, but you really just don't have to? Sometimes we just fool our bladder. Our bladder is fooled that we have to pee because we're always going a lot. So then the bladder thinks, oh, I do have to go after this amount of time. Sometimes those muscles are tense down there, and they're giving you that sensation that you have to go. Once again, tense muscles. I feel like I'm a broken record. When you feel that you always have to go, that could be the sign that those muscles are clenching and tightening around the bladder, and it's giving you a false sense.
So let's laugh. Can we, because after listening to all this, and it's you're coming of age, right? I just turned 40. Michelle's nearing the end of her 40s. So I feel I laugh when I say this, but must have apologized to my mother a million times. Because right when you're younger, there goes mom laughing and sneezing and peeing, and you're just like, I'm going to tell you something. Mom, I am terribly sorry for every single time that I laughed at you, because my God, this is life and it doesn't have to be. Everybody should see Danielle.
I laugh with my legs closed. Crossed and bent down. That is how I laugh all the time. It's not good.
Well, but I think the most important thing is that we're talking about it.
Yeah.
A, we're talking about it. And B, you're going to see me.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've never talked about it before, and here I am talking about it on air.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
admitting that I pee my pants.
This is what we're here for. If you ain't getting the real, raw, unfiltered chat, where else would you get it? This is a note. We listen and we don't judge here, Michelle. You should know this. So,
Can I say something about that?
Yes, absolutely.
Before I forget?
Yeah.
So I was thinking too, a lot of times you've been told that it's just normal, or you've gone to the OB or the GYN and they've said, oh, there's nothing wrong down there. And that might be right according to their perspective, but a lot of them don't check those muscles. So we might have always thought that we have this thing going on, but that there's nothing we can address. But it's the muscles that the physical therapist, me, that we address, because we check those muscles. Like we see, or I see, I'm not going to have a bunch of people in the room with me. I see, like, okay, do you know how to contract those muscles? Do you know how to release those muscles? What do those muscles feel like? What do they do? So it's good that we're talking about it, and that's why I'm here. But yeah, we need to address those muscles. So just because someone's told you that, oh, there's nothing wrong down there, there is something wrong, right?
Yep.
Because who wants to pee in their pants?
Yeah.
Not me.
Yep.
I just turned 50, and yeah, I don't want to pee in my pants.
Yeah.
I think we can all say that confidently.
Yeah, I don't want to pee in my pants. I don't want to pee in my pants. So what's some advice that you would give somebody who's struggling right now? What would you tell them?
I would tell them to see a pelvic floor physical therapist. See somebody. I would love for you to see me, because I say see a pelvic floor physical therapist, but I want you to see the pelvic floor physical therapist in the area. But just see somebody, because we're talking about this and it's great and we're laughing, but there's help. Like the years of, oh yeah, I do that. Oh yeah. And it's not okay. And listen, we were just talking about how we're getting older. We don't get better when we get older unless we're intentional about it. And we do get better, but we have to be intentional about it. So even if you've been peeing for 20 years or you had your baby 20 years ago, it doesn't mean that it's not fixable, because we've never tried. We've never checked those muscles. We've never addressed those muscles.
Yeah.
So there's hope for you. There's hope for everyone.
There's hope. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back with Dr. Danielle. We have some more questions that we want to find out and learn how to fix our pelvic floor. So stay tuned and come on back.
Imagine life without worrying about leaking when you run, jump, or play with your kids. When it comes to something as personal as your pelvic health, working with an expert matters. I'm Dr. Danielle Rivera, a doctor of physical therapy with over 25 years of experience. This means faster results, less frustration, and no more wasted time or money searching for answers. Call us or schedule online. Your pelvic floor is asking for the expert down there care.
You've been watching Couch Talk with Lauren and Michelle, and now let's get back to our show.
And we're back on the couch with Danielle, our resident and friend pelvic floor therapist. So what is something that we can expect, or women or men can expect, when they come into your office?
The dreaded question.
Oh.
Well, not the dreaded question.
Are you in a gown? Are you
Yeah,
did
tell
we get
us what
undressed?
to expect when you come in.
So chances are, if you're coming for your pelvic floor and you're having issues down there, we do want to check down there. And a lot of times people are getting nervous about, oh, you're going to do a pelvic exam and you're a physical therapist, how does that work? Well, I have a lot of extra training. We don't just learn it in physical therapy school. Well, at least we didn't back then. I don't think we do it nowadays either. But I'm going to do a pelvic exam, and I'm going to check those muscles like we just talked about. Good news is no stirrups, no speculum. I'm sitting there right next to you, and we're just talking about it. We're getting to know each other, by the way, before you actually undress.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Wine me and dine me before
I was just
you.
going to say, you better take me to dinner first, Danielle.
All right, we'll just make sure we're showered and
There
clean
it
and
is.
smelling nice before we
Well, that
come.
should be a given, right? And then do you do like exercises after you do your exam and you figure out like kind of the core of the issue and they continue to come back? Are you doing exercises together and then you're sending them home with stuff to do, or like kind of run down some of the stuff that you would do in office?
Yeah. So we do pelvic floor exercises. Again, not always just Kegels, or we might teach you how to do a Kegel the right way.
How many different exercises are there? Is it just Kegels? Because that's everybody's mind goes to Kegels. You know, but there's others, aren't there?
Yeah, and that's a great question because, well, why would I come and see Danielle when I could just Kegel on my own, Kegel at a stoplight,
watch a
right?
YouTube video
Kegel,
or
yes,
kind of,
exactly.
No, you need the professional in the building in front of you telling you how to do it correctly.
So you need the professional to make sure you're doing it right. And even if it is something that you should be doing, because remember, if those muscles are tense, you don't want to just Kegel. But then also, it's not just the pelvic floor. So there's so much more beyond the pelvic floor when we talk about pelvic floor physical therapy. Chances are, so like when I do an evaluation, I am looking at your hips, I'm looking at your spine, I'm looking at your pelvis, because there's reasons why your pelvic floor might be weak or tense inside, but we also want to see what's going on the outside.
Interesting.
Right.
So actually you have hip muscles inside as part of your pelvic floor.
Oh, wow.
So we might do hip exercises that are addressing your
Right.
pelvic floor issue. Or you might have weakness in your core that never got there. And so what happens is sometimes your pelvic floor muscles tighten up down there because your core is weak. So we have to really kind of build a whole plan for you based on what I'm finding. So if your core is weak, if you have a bad back, if you've got weak hips, sometimes people sprain their ankle when they were, I don't know, 15 years old,
Right.
and they didn't stand on that left leg well because that left ankle was an injury. Well, now, years later, we don't want to say how many years later, years later, that's affecting how you're standing, it's affecting your pelvis, so it's affecting your pelvic floor.
Understood.
So,
do you find that like doing like yoga or doing like activities that help to, you know, open and strengthen those areas help with issues, you know? I don't know, is it incontinence? I mean, is that what it would be classified as?
Yeah, I mean, I do a little of everything. Chances are, most of the time, my clients, I see them once a week. So I'm giving you exercises specific to like what you need and what's good for you. And then I'm also, I'm teaching you yoga positions, or maybe I might tell you, okay, go to this yoga class if that's what you like to do. But you know what? Stay away from this.
Oh,
because
good.
that's not necessarily good
Right.
for you.
So you're like a life coach too.
So
I do it all.
I love that.
But and you might be going to the gym. So tell me what you're doing at the gym. So it's not just your pelvic floor. It's all, I say belly buttons to thighs.
I wonder what are some things to avoid that can further hurt your pelvic floor?
Good question.
Yeah. So tell me some things I shouldn't be doing.
I feel like I'm going back to the pain with sex thing. And I don't want to anger too many people. But if you have pain with something,
Don't do it.
you probably shouldn't do it.
Gotcha.
Doesn't mean you should completely never do
man.
it, because
Yeah, that's not
what,
good advice.
Yeah, that's not. I
gonna
know.
say, Danielle, hold up.
I know. Don't do it while it's hurting you, but fix the problem and then go
Right.
back to it.
So-
You don't want to just like keep drudging through it.
Is there workouts to avoid? Is there things to avoid that can worsen your pelvic floor if you are already having issues?
Yeah. I'm not your typical pelvic floor physical therapist, I think. I don't like to tell anybody, even though I just said it, not to do something. Like, I want you to live your life and be able to live your life. So if you want to lift heavy, but maybe we need to address your pelvic floor first. Maybe we need to make some modifications while we're training your pelvic floor, and then lift heavier.
You have to build up to it, kind of thing.
Exactly.
Like you have to work, almost like really working out the body, I guess, in a sense. It's almost like going to the gym.
It's a muscle.
Yeah.
But and it's so crazy how like everything kind of comes full circle. So like she said, the back, the hips, the spine, like chiropractor is going to adjust you and set all that stuff in a line, and a pelvic floor therapist, like Danielle, is kind of going to align kind of everything else. I feel like it's like everything does kind of work together. I think we take for granted some of those things because we live like crazy busy lives, like you said, so we normalize these certain things. But, like you said, I think as you get better and better and you work on these things and you take the initiative to make the change, then you'll see progress.
Yeah. My question, if you have a natural birth as opposed to, having a C-section, does that really ruin you down there? I had a C-section, so I don't know, but I've heard that, know.
Snap back like a rubber band. I had two. Tell her, Danielle. Like a rubber band. Tell her.
It's both. It's
I'm curious, when you see clients, do a lot of them have they had natural
or what's
childbirth,
the difference? What's the difference in some of the things you see, right?
Yeah.
This is hot topics. This is fire squad here.
It's both. I mean, take away the pelvic floor.
Yeah.
And just think about like when you're pregnant. Okay, your posture is different. You're standing differently. You're moving differently. Your spine has changed. Yeah. You're breathing differently. Yeah. I mean, you've got a baby up there and it's pressing up against
under the
your
ribs.
Yeah, right?
Under the ribs.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
Your ribs, when you had your baby, now they don't just like go right back.
Oh no, she broke my ribs.
Right, but they need to be fixed. So I go in and I kind of align those ribs better.
Oh.
Okay. So with all those changes that happen at our body, just not even talking about down there, they all need to be fixed. They're not just gonna. Everything's just not gonna. Bing, baby's
and
out.
Pop back into place.
Right. So those are awesome questions. I feel like I don't remember if I answered all of them, but yeah. So we're not even talking about the pelvic floor, right? So pelvic floor, down there, yes. I mean, if you had a baby down there, it might be traumatic down there, but you also carry that baby and it pressed on your. I'm talking about before the baby came out.
Yeah.
You carried that baby for 9 months. I mean, they was moving things around.
Gravity.
And pressing on things.
And,
So all of that stuff is still affecting.
Oh, wow.
This was really good today. I have to tell you something. I love episodes like this. I think that as our guests continue to watch, they're going to really learn a lot of things, and we're going to have a lot of laughs on the couch, and we're going to have Danielle back again because there is so much to unfold here. There's so much to talk about.
And we'll be talking about Danielle every single time we laugh on the couch.
Yeah, call Danielle.
You'll see us saying call Danielle. If you have a business and you're looking to showcase your business and come on, definitely make sure to reach out to us at couchtalkpodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to have you come on the couch and showcase your business. We want to thank Danielle for being here with us today. We have been waiting for this episode for a month.
This is really exciting.
So excited. You have no idea. We have been so excited for you.
And don't forget to like, follow, and share the Brooklyn Cafe TV and Couch Talk podcast on all social media and streaming platforms.
And Danielle, how can they find you again?
They can find me on Instagram at Dr. D Pelvic PT. I'm located in West Palm Beach off of Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, just east of the mall. You can come see me and go shopping right at the same time. Also, my email or my website is therightbalancept.com. Oh, phone number too, 561-229-0873.
And we'll meet you here next time back on the couch.
We said it.
You're welcome.
Hey, it's Michelle.
And it's your girl, Laura Nicole. And this is Couch Talk.
Just two girls, one couch, a few special guests, and way too many thoughts. From late night chats to did that really just happen moments, we're unpacking it all.
Relationships, parenting, adulting, life, love, and everything in between. No filters, no judgment, just laughs, real talk, and maybe a few questionable takes. So grab a drink, get comfy, and take a seat. This is Couch Talk.